Hey everybody, it's Leilani here if you don't already know me. I wanted to share with you a few movements and exercises to help you undesk yourselves. And by that, of course, I mean basically undoing all the bad things that sitting at a desk for long hours, hunched over a computer, or even just chilling a little too hard on the sofa will do to your body. So we're gonna just move, we're not gonna be too intense about this today. So we're gonna start in this comfortable seated position here. If this seated position is not comfortable for you, you can grab a pillow and sit up on it, kind of prop yourself up. Don't be afraid to do that. We wanna be comfortable here, okay? So you're going to bring your arms down by your sides and just try to make your spine as tall as possible here. You're going to take a deep breath. You're going to pull your abdominals in. Try to engage them a little bit just so your spine can stay tall. Gets that little support. You're going to let your right ear come to your right shoulder. And just keep breathing and holding this here for a little while. Letting gravity just do its thing. Then you're going to take your right hand and just kind of place it on the top side of your head. Now you don't need to pull very hard because letting gravity make your hand heavy on top of your head is kind of, for most people, enough to get a good stretch here. I feel it. I don't need to pull very much, if at all. You want to hold this for a few rounds of breath. Just gently turn your face down toward your armpit. And I want you to find the skin right behind your ear, kind of like at the base of your skull there, and pull upward on it. So by pulling on this skin here, you're actually stretching manually things that are much deeper, like fascia, and helping the muscles stretch a little bit more. In other words, it's gonna make you feel better. You hold this for a few rounds of breath as well. You're gonna press your head gently into your hand if that feels okay. If it doesn't, don't do it. And then you release that press. Maybe do it a couple more times. Gently press your head into your hand and release. A little tension and release always helps loosen it up. And release one more time. Reach that arm down, let the arm go. And then you look down toward your chin, toward your chest there. And then you lift your chin up in the center and just bobble your head around. All right, so we have to do the other side. So go ahead and take your left ear to your left shoulder. I'm doing it backwards so you can mirror me. And then just kind of let gravity do its thing. Let this opposite shoulder remain down. Don't let your shoulders tip. Then you take your left hand and place it on the top side of your head here. And hold that for a few seconds, few breaths. Let gravity do its thing. Never pull too hard with your neck. Then you're going to go ahead and turn your face down toward your armpit. Find the skin behind your ear again and pull up on that skin. We're manually stretching all that good stuff. Hold. Then you're going to take an inhale and press your head gently into your hand. Small release. Gently press. Small release. One more time. Little tension up into your hand. And release. And let your arm come down, just the arm. Lower the chin down to your chest. And then roll your neck up in center. Fix your hair if it looks crazy like mine did. And roll your head around a little bit. Just let it bobble around. Okay, that feels better already. All right, so next thing, we're gonna work the shoulders a little bit. So, I'm gonna have you interlace your fingers. See if you can lengthen your arms. Okay, so the full expression of what we wanna do is lift your straight, but not locked, never locked. Straight arms up overhead, up and back as far as you can. And you want to hug your ribs in a little bit using your abdominals, just to keep your back nice and tall. And then you lower it down. Now, if that was too intense, what you can do is bend your elbows a little bit and see how far you can go. Maybe you can get a little bit deeper into it with bent elbows. And down. So if you get stuck like somewhere here, if your shoulders are super tight, just work it there and just hold it. And as you breathe into it, maybe try to let it loosen up a little bit more. Try not to let your shoulders hike up either, because that'll stop you. Keep them pulling down away from your ears. Have lots of space here if you need that room. And just reach as much as you can and bring it down. Roll the shoulders out a little bit, shake it out. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is called protraction and retraction. So reach your arms straight forward. You're gonna slide your shoulders back and forward, reaching further forward with straight arms the whole time. So from the side, I'll show you. You reach back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and reach forward. You want to try to keep your spine stable, so you're not doing all this, it's just your shoulders. Squeeze a pencil between the shoulder blades, and let that pencil go and reach further around the rib cage. One more time, not a ton of these. Just enough to warm it up. Then you're gonna reach around behind you. We're gonna take this in steps here, right? Try not to overarch, try not to be back. Again, if you need that pillow underneath you, get it going. Okay, so we're gonna take this out and around. See if you can interlace your fingers behind you. If you can do that, take it a step further. See if you can roll your shoulders back a little bit. If you can do that, see if you can reach your arms long. Try not to lock your elbows, but do try to straighten-ish your arms. Have them a little straight-ish, right? And then you're going to see if you can roll your shoulders back even more and lift your heart up to the ceiling. Notice I'm not just dropping my head back here. I'm trying to lift my heart up, and then you release it. So I'm gonna do it again. Join me if you want to. Reach your arms back, go through the steps. Can I interlace my fingers? Cool. Can I start to roll my shoulders back a little bit? Can I start to stretch my arms longer? Can I start to lift my heart up? Still keeping your upper abdominals slightly engaged for support. And reach. Shake it out, shake it out. So now we're gonna come to all fours. We're gonna do a little cat-cow. We like this one. Nice and simple here. Don't think too much. Just arch and curl. We're just gonna move through it. We're not gonna take a super detailed Pilates-esque approach, because you're just trying to knock these exercises out after you finish your long work day, right? Just kind of loosen it up a little bit. If you want to take some circles, rolling the hips around, if that feels good, you know, pick your poison, or you can continue doing it straight. And then you start to lengthen out. Okay, if your knees are bothering you, you can put a little cushion underneath your knees. Maybe double up your mat. Little lunge for the hips. You're going to make 90-degree angles here. So I put my left foot out. You want to have your left knee over your left ankle and your right hip over your right knee. Try to square your hips off toward whatever you're looking at. So it kind of feels like my left hip is pulling back a little bit in space, and my standing hip is almost pressing forward a little bit. I'm going to squeeze my standing glute, pull my low belly in, almost trying to curl my pelvis under. You might even start to feel that stretch across the front of the kind of hip flexor, thigh area here. You might feel it already. Lean into it a little bit more if you have the ability to do so. Yeah. And if you're leaning, and it feels all right, you can actually slide your foot out further and go deeper into this lunge here. And you can put your hand on your thigh for support. Keep that low belly drawing in for support. It'll help stretch this area, I promise. If you're here, maybe you want to take a little lift of the heart. Maybe. You don't have to, it's optional. And then you come back, place your hands down if you can, and bring it back into child's pose. So I want your knees apart so you have space to just lay out. Deep breath. Now we're going to do the other side. So you come up, fix your clothing if you need to. Let's draw that right knee forward this time. Now you can really see if your hip is forward, you want to pull it on back so you're nice and square. You want to make this 90-degree angle, so your knee right above your ankle and your other hip right above your knee on the standing leg here. Start to kind of curl your pelvis under and move it as a unit forward. That feels good and you feel fine. You can take it a step further. Otherwise, just hold right where you are. Walk that foot a little further, get into it, lean. Hands right on top of the thigh. Hold there, maybe you can lift your heart a little bit, but do keep your belly engaged. And then bring it back into child's pose, and stretch it out. Have your knees apart, give yourself some space. All right, here we go. So from there, I'm going to turn this way. I just like to face this way. I don't know why, it's preference. So you're going to come onto your belly. You can have your hands straight out on your fists. You can grab your hands together, whatever feels best. If this is too much on your back being lifted up this high, you can come down, widen your elbows a little bit to let yourself come down a little bit more. Do try to drop your tailbone. I don't know if you can see this. Watch my belly and my lower back. See how I'm pulling it in a little bit to support my back? Do that. Lift up high. So what we're doing here is just holding this. Feel like you're pulling your heart through your shoulders. This is just to do the opposite of what we do on the computer. Think collarbones getting wider, maybe shoulder blades sliding down your back as you pull your belly up and in. Now we're going to start to kick. Keep your low belly pulling in. Your tailbone is going to want to pop up once you start kicking your legs. Engage your hamstrings, the back of your legs to kick. That'll help keep your hip flexors open. You don't want your butt coming up like that. And just kick a few more times if that feels okay. And lay it down. Nice and casual, right? Press back. Child's pose again, knees apart. Count your stretch there. All right, so we're going to come fix your pants. Have your feet apart a little bit if that feels good. You're lifting up nice and tall. Use your hands here to help pull yourself up. And then scoop your belly in, round your back, and lift. So we're just rounding just to get the counter stretch of the exercise we just did. Not too much detail here, no big deal. And lift. And we are all done. By the way, you like my outfit? It's from Pineapple Clothing. So there's a link and a discount code in the description box below. Go check it out. And you can get this outfit or a bunch of other cute ones they have in your site. So go get you some so you can be fly like me.
Audio Jungle. Jungle.